Jean Catherine Carlson here, Vibrant Living Alchemist on Sunday morning, and I am here and see if you can find me again. Bear with me a moment. I just saw someone saying that that we weren't connected, so bear with me one moment and I'll be right back with you. Okay. All right, so let's see what happens here and if we have a successful live to post this morning, crossing our fingers. All right, so here we are again, Vibrant Living Alchemists. I said a little bit about alchemy. This is pulling things together from everything that you're exposed to, everything that you hear, and then allowing it to commingle with what is on the inside for you, and that's how we create reality. So let's breathe again together. I think we could all use a breath after getting kicked off, and let's see what happens here. Breathing in. Going down to the bottom of the breath. And here we are this morning, Sunday morning, and I thought I would turn again to where we left off yesterday. There is a powerful reading in the 30 Days to Fearless Living that is rather perfect for where we are and for what we've been tapping on. So it goes like this. Faith is fear turned inside out. Excuse me, I do this all the time. Fear is faith turned inside out. Oh, do you think I need to work a little bit on fear and faith? Fear is faith turned inside out. Fear is having faith in certain images created by the mind rather than having faith in the creative power of the mind itself. Our fearsome mental ill images may have their origin in prior personal experiences, or they may be the result of cultural conditioning. And right now, there's a lot of cultural images that we are bombarded with. The whole globe is faced with these global collective images of and information about the COVID-19 scare and the pandemic. And yesterday we talked about there's the actual pandemic that's in the medical field, and then there's the pandemic of fear that is being generated, and neither know boundaries. Neither of those know the boundaries of countries or races or creeds or color of skin or age or gender preference. Neither of them know boundaries. And by the way, we can learn from that, free ourselves from boundaries. That's another story. These memories, these images are filled with strong emotions. And listen to this. If we do not discharge this emotional energy from the body, these images will continue to haunt the mind. They will continue to haunt the mind. As we put faith in these images, we make our fear real, and thus we give it power over us. So that the way fear claims power over us is by making what we are imagining real. The mind doesn't know the difference between what we imagine and what is real. And so one of the things that tapping does, hey Maggie, thanks for finding your way back. Looks like we have a stabler connection, so that's good. When we allow whatever we are imagining to feel like it's real, Here's the good news. We can imagine a positive outcome and have neuropeptides flowing through us. So if we imagine a beautiful day up on the mountain with the trees, with a beautiful meadow, and having a lovely picnic with friends and family, we can create that and actually experience that in our bodies, even while we are in solitude. As a matter of fact, as I was saying that, I was feeling energy running through my body. So the good news is our imagination, when we catch ourselves going into the dark neighborhoods, we can remind ourselves, I made that up and I'm telling my mind this is real, and that's creating the cortisol, that's creating the fear, it's the thoughts that's creating the fear, and now I'm adding fuel to the flames and I'm getting myself all worked up, and so I better do some tapping on that. And on the other side, we can stop and say, wait a minute, what's real right now? Yesterday I heard an elegant broadcast by Eckhart Tolle, who talked about one of Jesus's parables in the New Testament that talks about when you follow my words, and his words, what were his words were? Love is the power of all. The kingdom of heaven was within. Within us lies the divinity. Within us is love. That was what Jesus's message is. And he says in this parable, if you follow these words, if you go within and use the power of imagination to create a pandemic of joy, pandemic of happiness, and let those neuropeptides flow through you, when you do that, then your house is like the house, which is a metaphor for us, is like a house built on a rock. The strong foundation, and the winds come and the storms come and the floods come and the house stays put because it is built on that strong foundation. When we build our foundation on fear and allowing others to tell us what is and looking outside ourselves for the love that is within, then we are more like a house built on sand, and the storms come and the winds come and the rains come and the floods come and the house gets washed away. Now, if you feel like you're a house built on sand, we all feel like that sometimes. It's not a one-time shot. It's like, oops, I'm a little sandy today. Gotta get back to that rock. And if you've never gone inside, what an amazing opportunity the globe, this virus has given you. This crown that looks like a crown, this crown virus is giving you the opportunity to tune into your own sovereign, create your own corona sovereign virus within, and allow that to be the reality that you choose. Let's see, there was something else here. Let's see. In a sense, we choose our reality because we knowingly or unknowingly, and this isn't about blame, people. You say, oh my God, I've been on the sand too long. It's all my fault. It's not about fault. It's simply about being awareness, about waking up. That's why I love the name Wake Up to Vibrant Living. We all need to be woken up. So it's about waking up to realizing that knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously, we choose where to put our faith. And guess what? Whether we are aware of it or not, grace is keeping us alive. So now it's shifting from faith to grace for a moment. This grace, having faith in grace is this powerful energy that actually keeps it, it's a mystery. I can't say exactly what it is. Nobody knows exactly what it is, but I know grace is involved when we come across a message that is perfect for us. Grace is involved when people heal. Grace is involved in the healing process in the body. That is grace. And when we can faith in grace, and moment by moment and day by day say, I'm going to remember that I can choose faith by grace, that is a way that this unconscious stuff can get started to be healed. So if you've never gone within, it's a great time to do that. Say, oh my God, I'm so grateful that I'm awake now. Thank you for bringing this to me. And now I'm going to start building a little differently. I'm going to start healing these unconscious messages. And that's what tapping does. Finally, freedom. I think one of the reasons this is so challenging for all of us is it's curtailing our freedom. Freedom is something that, especially here in the United States, we really value. Our freedom to hop in the car and go anywhere we like. Our freedom to go to the airport and hop on a plane and go anywhere we like. And globally, our freedom is really curtailed right now. And Viktor Frankl, who, if you don't know about him, he wrote a profound book, Man's Search for God, something like that, or Man's Meaning. If you Google it, maybe I'll post it here, because it's a profound book. It's even great to, if you go in and Google quotes by Viktor Frankl. He was full of wisdom. He survived the Holocaust living in a concentration camp. So if anybody knows about freedom being curtailed, it would be he. And what he came to in his book, and he was tortured, he did not have a pleasant time of it, but he maintained his inner freedom. And he said something like this, that they can do whatever they want to my body, but they cannot touch the freedom within. The newscasters can send us as much fear as they want, as much information as comes at us, and that does not curtail our freedom to choose our attitude towards what's going on. So, ready to tap? Let's tap on some of this. And if you are, Grace, Maggie, thank you. So grace for you is peace. So let's bring grace and peace into what we're going to call in. And I think I'm going to stick with fear and fear of the unknown, health and wealth, fear for our families. If there's any other emotion that's up for you this morning, if you want to type it in, feel free to do that. And I will do my best to see the comments and include that in the tapping. So for now, here we go on the karate chop. And tapping, tapping, tapping. Remember, tapping is tapping and not hitting. And I did wash my hands before, but again, because we're told not to touch our face, if you are concerned about that, just tap on the collarbone. If you've used hand sanitizer or have washed your hands, feel free to touch your waist. Take full responsibility for your well-being, as Brad Yates says, one of my heroes on tapping. And here we go, on the karate chop. Let's breathe again. Whew. Even though there's all this fear in the air, and sometimes I pick it up. Oh, thank you, Diana, for coming back, finding us again. We're just starting tapping. I deeply and completely love and accept myself and do my best to love and accept this situation and love and accept everyone on this globe. And shake that out. And tune into yourself right now and just see how strong is discomfort. You may be calling it fear, it may be anger, it may be a variety of, is this allergies or corona? Good, we'll include that one. Yes. So feel in and see how strong your fear is right now, or anger, or any low vibration emotion, and then we'll check again after tapping. So back to the karate chop. Even though there's this fear of the virus and not knowing if it's allergies or corona. And I want to find a way to love and accept all of me right now. Allergies or not, corona or not, and love everyone on this beautiful planet. And shake that out. And breathing in. And one more time on the karate chop. Even though there's this pandemic of fear, as well as the pandemic of virus, and it's got me unsettled. And I want to find a way to love and accept and cherish all of me and everyone on this beautiful planet. And shaking that out. And you can even wiggle around a little bit. Sometimes the body just wants to move. Tapping, this is all about getting that energy moving so that we can have greater access to the good neighborhoods and the positive images in our brain. So I'm beginning of the karate, beginning of the eyebrows. All this unknown on the outside of the eyebrows. Are my sniffles because of allergies or the coronavirus? How am I to know? And under the nose and on the chin. And when I think it's the coronavirus, I really get freaked out. And on the wrists. And I know that's not good for me. Because fear takes my immune system down. On the beginning of the eyebrows. And fear cuts me off from my positivity. On the outside of the eyebrows. And I don't want that. Under the eyes. But how can I not be afraid? Under the nose. Isn't fear an appropriate response here? On the collarbone. Isn't it time to panic just a little? Or a lot? And on the wrists. So I get the sniffles and I freak out. On the beginning of the eyebrows. Last year, on the outside of the eyebrows, I would have just said, allergy season. Under the eyes. I get this every year. Under the nose and on the chin. I know what this is about. On the collarbone. But now, is this the coronavirus? Now we're on hyper alert. And on the top of the head, and my nervous system is doing the best it can to cope. Okay, and shaking that out. So what if this is an opportunity to, again, go within and say, you know, for example, see if I have a pendulum in here. I've been pulling them out and putting them, laying them down. I still have one more in here. I have a little pouch of pendulums that I use, and I don't know if you use pendulums, but I've been known to go to my pendulum and say, oh, you know, do I have it? Do I not have it? Yes or no? I'm not suggesting that as medical advice. Please know that. I'm just saying that sometimes we need reassurance. So you might pull a card. You might just tune in. You might check in with your spouse. You might just like look in the mirror and say, honey, this is a good one. Honey, I'm sorry you're so riled up right now. You know this is probably just allergies. It's okay. Let me give you a hug. And even if you're single, you can give yourself a hug and look at yourself in the mirror and say, it's okay. So there's all kinds of things we need to do right now to soothe our system, and tapping is one of them. So let's breathe again, and then we'll go to another round, breathing in. And just feeling in at the bottom of the breath. Did you get a little more riled up? You might have. You might be a little more calm. Just feel into that. And then we'll do some more tapping. So on the karate chop. And I'd love to give me some hearts if you feel a little more calm. Actually, give me a thumbs up if you feel, oh, never mind. You can put in the comments, up or down, if you want. Okay, there's some hearts. I know sometimes they're hard to find. Okay, so let's go with, let's do one more round, and this time we're going to bring faith and grace in. Let's bring in the positive neighborhoods. Let's create a good neighborhood. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, so here we go. Even though there's a pandemic on this planet, pandemic of virus, pandemic of fear, and I don't like it. It's scaring me. And I have to admit, I get caught in the fear. And I want to find a way to ease the fear for this body, trust and have faith, and love and accept all of me anyway. Okay, shaking that out. Oh, and if you might be yawning, I just had a yawn. Yawning is a way that the body is moving energy. It's not a sign that you're still tired. It's moving energy. You might feel energy in your body. Just let this energy flow through you. And when we clear and let it flow, it just goes back out into the ethers. It goes down into the ground. You can posit that all of the fear energy is going through the soles of your feet into Mother Earth. She knows how to compost all that fear. Trees love taking on our fear. You can go up and out and put your forehead on a tree and just say, pull out all of the fear energy from my brain, from my mind, and use it for compost. Trees love that. So maybe go out and put your forehead on a tree today. Beginning of the eyebrows. Yes, I do get caught in fear sometimes. And on the outside of the eyebrows. And I know I am building a house on a solid foundation. Under the eyes. I do know, my mind knows, my mind knows that love is stronger than fear. Under the nose and on the chin. And sometimes my mind forgets. And on the collarbone. And I am doing my best on the wrists to remind myself every time fear comes through. And on the top of the head, that I know a deeper magic. On the beginning of the eyebrows. And the deeper magic is this. On the outside of the eyebrows. Our imaginations, we are powerful. And under the eyes. And we can create a graceful way through this. Under the nose and on the chin. For ourselves. For our neighbors. For our family. For this planet. And what if I get an idea today that will bring some love to others and to myself? Beginning of the eyebrows, and I act on that. What if I act on this new belief? What if I act on the truth that love is stronger than fear? What if I let that be the pandemic? On the collarbone. What if I help co-create a pandemic of love? On the top of the head. What if that pandemic of love, this will be the last round, beginning of the eyebrows, will neutralize the actual virus? On the outside the eyebrows. What if love is as strong as that? Under the eyes. A part of me believes that could be. under the nose and on the chin. And a part of me doubts. And on the collarbone. And that's okay. That's okay. On the wrists, as I choose to love myself, accept myself, fully forgive myself, and on the top of the head, and allow the light in me to shine without restriction. And shaking that out. Oh, so check in with yourself. I don't know about you, but it's feeling a lot, I'm feeling a lot more energized and a lot hopeful, more hopeful. So thank you for joining me on this Sunday morning. Thank you for coming back. If you came on initially and we got cut off, for coming back and tapping, because truly, every time we tap, every time you tap, every time you turn within, every time you use your tools, every time you remind yourself that love is stronger than fear, it does have a ripple effect. So let's keep doing what we're called to do and take care of ourselves. And I will see you tomorrow morning at 8:15 a.m. Pacific time. Be well and spread that pandemic of love for you and for all of us. So be it, and thank you.